Soft niggas usually send the hate through the bitches. Jealous Instagram niggas hating on your pictures. We dream chasing, y'all niggas walking behind wishes without working for it. Not all.
Yo, welcome back. This is Basalt TV. We got Keith Johnson in the building, CEO of Basalt. What's going on with you, Mr. Johnson?
Hey, what's going on with you, brody?
Shit, nothing much. We're going to try to get the people to get a little chance to know you, man. We got a few questions for you today.
Alright, I'm ready for you.
Alright. Where you from, man?
From Pittsburgh, California, small little town, you know, Bay Area. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Pittsburgh, it's a little small town surrounded by big cities. Out near like Antioch, Oakley, Brentwood, but not too far from like Oakland, Richmond, San Francisco. People more familiar with those bigger cities, but you know, everybody in the Bay Area know where Pittsburgh at. But other than that, you know, a little small town where it go down, has its little ups and downs, and you know, shit like that. Yeah.
Alright. Next question is we got here. So did you come from a two-parent home?
Hell no. I ain't come from no two-parent home, bro. I wish I did. I mean, that's where I think some of my problems came from, not being in a two-parent home. I was actually adopted by my great-grandmother. Yeah, my parents, they were in and out of my life, you know, when I was younger. You know, due to their situation, having me at a young age and whatever their trials and tribulations, you know, I really don't like to put it out there because, you know, some people get hurt, you know, caught in their feelings. So, you know, but it was just a fucked up situation. You know, I didn't have them in my life at a young age.
So do you have kids?
Yeah, I got kids. Yeah, I got a few, matter of fact, and they pretty much grown. I got one younger one that's 11 years old, and 3 adults, aging at 23, 21, and 18.
So with that being said, with you not growing up in a two-parent home, how do you think that affects you as you being a parent?
From the beginning, it kind of set me back on being the dad, the man, and the father that I needed to be, because I was actually upset with my dad not being in my life. not trying to cut around, you know, the question, but I'm just trying to explain more on how it started, because him not being in my life and me suffering from not knowing what it was to be raised around a father figure like that. Even though I have my great uncle, he played that father figure when I was younger, and he was teaching me the game, but he wasn't my daddy. So I really didn't have that insight of it. But it did affect me as a father raising my kids, because I really don't talk about it as much because it's not everybody else's business. But you know, you're trying to learn a little bit more about me.
But I have a good relationship, or y'all don't have a relationship?
You know, it's a sensitive topic, so I'm trying to beat around the fucking shit, but I'm gonna keep it real. You know, I struggle, you know, with my kids because I was running the streets. You know, I was still young. I haven't really accomplished much in life. Wasn't even really doing shit. I was more focused on running the streets and not worrying about my kids at that young of an age, early 20s, you know, late teens, but. You know, it really affected me because it was like a chain reaction of what I dealt with, and you know, I technically just, you know, carried on that legacy that was, you know, brought upon me, you know, and it affected me. It affected me, and it still affects me to this day because I struggle with the relationship with my kids. You know, even though I try to get more involved. So.
Okay. Well, speaking of what you've been speaking on, saying it affects you in your childhood. So, how was your childhood and teenage years? Was that why you got in trouble, or is that why you might have did certain things for I don't know. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for me?
Man, to be honest, growing up, I thought I was a good kid. I mean, I had problems in school, like in elementary and junior high, being a class clown and being put in on-campus suspension and shit like that. You know, I mean, just just hanging out with all the screw up and the class clowns. That's what that was about. But when I was around 12, I think I was like 12, 13. Something happened in the area that I lived in. I was in the house and somebody did a robbery, around that area. And the police, I guess the people who did it technically hit the fence, and the police ran into my house and they woke me up. I was going to church. I was, good. I mean, to me, I felt like I was a good kid, but they end up snatching me out of the bed, and they snatched my older brother up. They put both of us in the police car, told my grandmother, that we was wanted for robbery, and the witness came, pointed me out, me and my brother. I was in the bed the whole time, and that was the first time when my life really changed, so I ended up going to juvenile hall at like the age of 11 or 12, and I was scared to death, man. I was in the back of the cop car. I'm crying with my brother. He was like, nigga, you gonna have to shut the fuck up and go for this ride. Ain't no snitching. Cause I knew who did that shit, but I just never said anything because my big bro said you're gonna have to go for this ride. So that was it. Went for the ride, and that's when my life changed. For the worse, but good at the same time, because I learned from some of those mistakes. So
I was a man and youngsters out there at 14 selling narcotics.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when you look at it,
I know that's from that era, though. 90s. That's what teenagers did, man, trying to get money.
Yeah, in the early 90s, yeah, that's what it was about. Everybody was about, trying to get that money. And we was youngsters. Shoot, man. By that time, I was living out in West Pittsburgh. We were staying over in the projects in the West, and I guess that's where everything just really started hitting off. My younger brother, the one behind the camera. We used to run real tough over there on Poinsettia and the Baileys and all through the West. And I had my older brother Bart, which he hate being called Bart now. His name, Young Dane. And dude, it was crazy. We used to get like our lunch money, our clothes money, during the summer when we were supposed to go out and
buy school clothes.
Yeah, buying school clothes. We out flipping bundles and shit, going out, buying crack and flipping Bammer. This one, Bammer was cracking. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers had but they didn't really come to the scene.
A lot of people don't know what Bammer is. What Bammer is.
Yeah, that Mexican sace. That seed, that Bammer, that shit that give you the headache. Yeah, my boy Low. My boy Low forever to get about that shit. Yeah, probably like 2 decades. This nigga still got Bammer. Yeah, he was the Bammer King, nigga.
Alright, so we still gonna bring it back to the childhood thing. How was it graduating from Byron and nobody was there to pick you up?
God damn. Graduating from Byron. Hell yeah, they left my black ass, man. Yeah, so after doing all that time, that was my first time going to juvenile hall, right? And I went for the next motherfucker. I guess, it was a case of mistaken identity, but you know, I didn't end up telling on the individuals who did it. So after spending 6 months fighting the case in juvenile hall, man, it was horrible. I'm getting to that graduation part, but yeah, it was horrible. Especially, you know, your pride being stripped from you, having to strip butt naked, and you know you're a kid, and plus it was crazy shit up in there during that time. That's when Richmond, Pittsburgh, everybody had their little beef, and everybody in there for murder, and I'm in there on some robbery shit I ain't do. So I fought that 6 months, and then after 6 months, they sent me to the Byron Ranch, and I had a mandatory 9. So I went there. I ended up going there. I had a few friends I grew up with. Had my little brother, the one behind the camera. His ass was in there on his way out.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Nah, I'm fucking with y'all, but real shit though. Hell yeah, but man, after doing that mandatory 9, my mom, you know, she was supposed to come pick me up, and I ended up packing all my stuff up, giving all my commissary away, you know, to the rest of the people that was in there. And after doing that, you know, she was running like 2-3 hours late. And I was like, damn.
It was hard times, nigga, now it's all time. Just take a look at my life. Rapping brought me back to life. Cause I was in them streets, my heart was cold as a pack of ice. Every night we strapping like we was in Iraq to fight. Cause niggas getting murdered for a block that do a stack of knife. Whoa, I gotta make it home to my son. On them papers with a firm hold on his gun. Before I snitch, I gotta burn a hole in my tongue. Give me 100 years in a hole on the sun. And boiling water, in the world of no order. In the hood of no loyalty, ain't no worth for your daughter. Ain't a life for your brother, on the life of my mother. I'ma get the fan right, nigga, you damn right.